With a win over Liverpool on Saturday, West Ham could leapfrog a lot of other teams to jump into the top half of the Premier League. Who would have thought that, considering our start at the beginning of the season? Welcome back to Iron United's YouTube channel. I'm Anton, he's Luke, he's Stel. West Ham have got Liverpool at Anfield, away from home, against a rather exciting Liverpool, we could say. Throw this one straight to you, Stel. Is this our most feared game of the season?
Well, I don't know if it would be our most feared game of the season. I think we've got other games coming up that are vital to win for us. I don't think anyone's expecting us to come away with anything from this game. And if we go there and play in the manner that I'm expecting Moyes to set the team out, I think we may frustrate Liverpool. So I don't think we've got anything to fear. We're going to go there. No one's expecting us to win. So nothing to fear in my mind.
Look, ain't nobody like Lanzini. Looks like he is returning to West Ham. Thank the Lord. Depends on what religion you are. So, listen, Lanzini looks like he's back. He's back in training. Will he start or will he come off the bench? What would you do with the current setup, considering West Ham have come off a great victory in the last game against Watford?
Yeah, for me, he's a bench boy. I don't want to see him go straight into the team.
Bench boy.
Unless, yeah, he's not permanently or nothing. Only for one game. Ideal world, I'd like to chuck him in and have a really attacking team and really go for it. But with West Ham at the minute, it doesn't seem feasible, to be fair. João Mario's still sort of finding his feet. And you can't, like I say before, you can't really, for me, in my opinion, personally, I don't really like changing the winning team. And we kind of play like an away team at home anyway. We just get a bit luckier, because Bernatovic seems to be a good outlet. But if Lanzini comes in, the only problem is if Lanzini has a stormer, and then the rumours again pick up like they were when they were linked with getting, Sol Coutinho and him being a replacement. Not that, as much as I love the guy, he's not anywhere near Coutinho's level for me at the minute. But hopefully if he comes on, doesn't get injured. That's the main thing with these players. Never really, like Antonio when he come back, I still look at him with gritted teeth whenever he gets on the ball. So hopefully if Lanzini comes back, I'd say last maybe 15, 20 minutes, if that. I'm really pampering him here, but and I'm rambling as well. So
really?
For me, yeah. I know.
Still, it's definitely mouthwatering to think that Lanzini is back and he could potentially partner up with this Arnautovic, Hernandez, João Mario, and this link-up play potentially between these players is definitely mouthwatering. But we are West Ham, and does things always go that way?
Well, you've only got to see how Arnautovic and Lanzini linked up in the games before they both went out injured, and we were, let's be honest, we were loving the way they were ripping teams apart. And then the unfortunate thing is they got injured, and we haven't seen that for some weeks. But I'm with Luke on this. My question would be not so much that I wouldn't want to start him to cover him, to wrap him up in cotton wool. It's who would you actually take out in his place if you were to start him, because I can't see an obvious choice. Had it been a few weeks back, we'd all said without a shadow of a doubt Chiati would have to be dropped, because of the way he was playing. And yet look at him, we've started to see the old Chiati back. Antonio, you could drop him, you can drop Antonio for him, but then who's going to go out left? We wouldn't have a player that will play out on the left. So it's not so much about wrapping him up in cotton wool. It's about who would you drop, and that's going to be the conundrum. Because I reckon he will come on. I reckon he'll probably come on for maybe the last half hour or so to give him a run out. And if he does do well, I'm not worried about Liverpool and their intentions to buy him. We'll worry about that in the summertime. What I'd relish is to see him linking up. I want to see him link up with João Mario and Chiati and Arnautovic and Hernandez. But then, who would you drop?
Yeah.
Because that is mouth-watering.
It does present West Ham potentially with some problems, and I think this is going to be a really important game for Chiati, who has been up and down most of the season, but as of late been a lot more positive, showing us the reason why we've got him in the team, and he's been there as a strong, lion, they say, in the middle of the park. Is this an important game for Coates, just to show at this level he can compete at this level, Luke?
Yeah, massively. Because I think when he first signed for us, he was just an absolute colossal for us. And I wouldn't have been surprised after his first 2 seasons if he left West Ham for a top 4 club, because he was that influential. Not only was he doing the job in the middle of the park, he was playing well at centre back as well when needed, filling in the roles, which is actually what we signed him as. I think even Allardyce did that as well. But he was my man of the match against Watford, hands down. And I know there was a rumour that he wasn't doing his job, or he wasn't tracking back, he wasn't working hard enough for the team, and suddenly someone showed the team or something along them lines. There was a video, there was footage showing of how lacklustre his work was, and ironically, ever since that was apparent, that rumour was flying about, he upped his game and he started to perform well, and it's just great to see to have a player like that back. But again, this is one of them things where you can play brilliantly against the teams that are around you or below you, whatever, and play, brilliantly. But once you can't against it, it's taking off you. So fingers crossed he does play like he has been. We get the same kit back as we did last game, whatever, because we kind of need it. We need that. As much as Noble's been much improved, as much as he plays a bit more attacking now, as much as he's missed the West Ham, taking on the role and whatever, he can't do it on his own. It would be nice if Noble could just sit back there and then let Kyoe move forward like he used to when we first signed him. So hopefully...
There's an appearance there still. We've got an appearance and a new person in.
I had a dog last time. It's still cat in this time. So they're all getting involved.
Sorry about that.
No, that's fine. That's good. That's good. Here's some... listen, we don't really need to go into depth about Liverpool's team, especially their front men. Firmino, Salah, Mane, they're all on form, they're all firing at all cylinders. They are fearful, but one thing I will say is, they are the second highest goal scorers in the Premier League, but also if you look at their stats for the top five currently, they've conceded the most amount of goals.
Yeah.
They have conceded goals, and they're very capable of conceding goals, and they've got some potential problems at the back. They look like they've got a fully fit squad. The only player really to work that doesn't look like he's going to be making the game is Nathaniel Klein, but
not Nathan Klein then.
No, I don't know who you're talking about. But they've conceded goals, and is that something, like you said, still that's something potentially we need to take advantage of with this new attacking threat that we've got?
Yeah, it's funny. I think I know this is going to sound a bit weird, but it's possible that it's the defences. It's one of the defences that will win this game rather than the attacking teams, if you know what I mean. If you defend well, then potentially they've got a leaky. I was going to say leaky backside then, but it wasn't right.
Keep it PG.
They've got a leaky backline, and we've improved, and so as much as they've got a lot of attacking prowess, and you got to admit they do look exciting when they go forward. Everyone was talking about how they're going to miss Coutinho, and he was the linchpin, etc., etc. And look what they've done. They're still tearing teams apart even without him. So I reckon it's much about who's going to play in defence than that might sort of swing the game.
Definitely, and your point is totally granted when you think about both defences looking at both oppositions. If you think about these, Firmino, Mane, and Salah coming at you, I think Salah's stats are crazy. He scored something like 30 goals this season. But then you look at the recent stats of Arnautovic, who's hit form alongside Hernandez, alongside Yao Mario, potentially linking up with Lanzini. It's just like, it's potentially, like you said, still, it could be the battle of the defences, and that's hopefully it falls in our favour. We've not got the greatest of results and statistics against Liverpool at Anfield, although of recent years it's been a lot better. I'm actually going to the game on Saturday, which I'm really looking forward to, even if anything more so for the jolly up than the game. Hopefully it's for the game. But are there really any other talking points on the game? We have a few other talking points we'll probably go through, but when it comes to West Ham Liverpool, Luke, who is your main man from Liverpool that you fear the most?
Salah, do. No, I'm not gonna do it. Like you've got a bit of a fucking single now, innit? Yeah, I'll let Collins do that for me. It's obviously Salah, and it's one of them things where I think it's almost like, you could say try and keep him on his right foot, try and keep him on his weaker side, but it's doing it that's the problem. And they're, for me, if you're targeting a player on their team, defence-wise, you'd target Lovren. If we're going to go for our pick, because Van Dijk obviously is probably their best centre back at the moment, and Lovren is kind of sensible. So you've got Salah, who's absolutely smashing it to bits at the top. Then you've got some sort of Sunday League pub player at the back who just makes constant mistakes. And if we can't take advantage of that, then there's something wrong with us, because almost every other team in the league has. But it's because that's the thing. If you concentrate on Salah, you've got Firmino and you've got Mane.
Well, that's what I wanted to say. Look, that I feel like every time that defences really do concentrate on Salah, they forget, because I used to really slag off Firmino and I used to think, nah, he's not there, he's not got the thing. But with these men around him, he's sometimes unplayable, and he's capable of that worldie of skill or that worldie of a goal. And I think that's something we need to watch. And as you said, Stel, when it comes to our defence, that's something we definitely need to clamp down on. And there's a potential for parking the bus. There is the potential. We know potentially.
We're going to. Yeah. I mean, Moyes is going to set us up that we're going to hit them on the attack. I mean, we're playing away anyway, which is a given that we're going to look to hit them on the break. But we are. I mean, I'm wondering, as to who Moyes is going to put at the back. Collins. I know we all know Collins is a warrior, but he was at fault for a couple of the goals a couple of weeks back. Who can't remember who it was against, but
I think on that though, Stel, as well, and what I will back up with you there is the fact that when Collins does play, he does give his heart, he does give his soul, but he gets that, and he's got the legs for maybe 2 or 3 games in a row. But when it gets to maybe the 3rd or 4th game in a row for us, he starts to show signs of his age in terms of footballing age, and he's not a long-term answer, he's a short-term answer for me. And
so it's going to be interesting to see. I mean, I don't know how far Reed's away from coming back, but I don't think it looks like
he's picked up a bit of a bug. I think he's potentially fit, but it looks like he's maybe got a bug and he might actually miss the game. But we do have Font back. We've got Ogbonna and Font.
Yeah, well, I'd rather stick with Collins then, to be honest with you. I know you love Font, but I don't.
I don't.
Oh, don't you? I thought you were a Font lover.
I think he's all right.
I think he's improved, but he's not got to the level that we know he can be. I don't think he ever has for West Ham. And if it's a choice between Font and Collins, I'd go for Collins.
And I'm with you on that 100%. Yeah.
And then who knows what's going to happen out on the left? Will he bring experience? We know he'll put Zabaleta out as a right wing back. Will he introduce Ebra for this game? As a starter. For that experience to try and really sort of close down Liverpool. But we don't know what Ebra looks like. We haven't even seen him in training. We've seen him in a taxi a couple of times. But we haven't seen him in training, so we don't really know how fit he is. But I potentially, if he's going to close it up, I mean, he'll play Cresswell, he'll play Ogbonna, who is clearly a potential for Hammer of the Year, Anton. and maybe he'll introduce Ebra, which means that if he's going to play Antonio, he might have to play Antonio somewhere else, and that would mean someone else dropping out of the team.
I'm just going to bring this up right now. Ogbonna, right? I'll put my hands up. I've slagged him off for two. Ever since he's joined the club, I've slagged him. Yeah, you have. I've bitten. I've slagged him off for over 2. Ever since he's joined the club, really, to be honest, I just don't think he is that good enough. But although he has performed really well, especially maybe in this season, where a lot of people at the beginning of the season were saying Font was our most improved player, which I could not disagree with the most. Ogbonna under Moyes is definitely one of the most improved defenders we've got. I just fear that he will find his calamity that he has had. But at the end of the day, I've got to give him his due. If he has performed well, which he has done for consistently 10, 12, 15 games, then it's a no-brainer that the guy stays in the team and dominates the back of our defence. So I'll hold my hands up and say that, definitely. Who's the one man from Liverpool you fear still? I've said Firmino, he said Salah. I mean, there's probably a strong possibility one of them or someone else.
I think possibly Salah.
Yeah.
You know, but then you can't forget Mane.
Yeah.
But
it's like we're singing the song.
I was thinking that.
Take your pick.
Salah.
Take your pick. But of the three, Salah.
Yeah.
I would say because he can wriggle his way through us, and you know he's got that ability, you know, to sort of get past players and set goals up as well as. Sorry, my cat's causing a distraction over there. Set goals up as well as scoring them. So, yeah, him. Salah.
When it comes to West Ham, Luke, I'm just going to hit you with two things: man to watch, and then I want straight away your prediction for the game.
For West Ham, because I one and only Anatovic for me. I think actually it's going to be one of them things where he's going to be. This probably could be the making of him, actually, in a West Ham shirt, because it's against a team which is one of the big boys. It's going to be a defence, in my opinion, which is, as we've already made accountable, it's quite leaky. It's got a potential to, to get a few goals against it. Goalkeepers ain't brilliant standard, and this is kind of like crying out for an Anatovic performance, because he's the kind of maverick, grabbed the ball by the horns. Because Anatovic, although he's quick, he's got quicker players around him, i.e. Lanzini and Antonio when he wants to be. And I think that having a big man up top, even just in that free role, because if you've got like a defender, for example, with Lovren, who is quite static, would like to kind of man mark someone. Is the only chance he's got really to keep out of a striker scoring goal. We've got to send an Anatovic who's here, there, and everywhere at times. The focal point up top for us. I think it's definitely this is Anatovic's time to shine. I mean, big time. I mean, not just against teams around us. This is plus because I'm not stupid. I'm not naive. These players do want to move to in the summer. I'm not saying he definitely wants to go, but he's our top player at the minute, and he's still youngish for a footballer. So if he wants to prove the big boys he's got it for next season, then he might want to put himself a shop window as well by playing against Liverpool. But I don't want to think about that because I want to hold on to him as long as possible. Because me and Anatovic is the one to watch. What was the other question? Prediction. Well, I'd love us to do what we did in the last season of bowling, which is go there and win 3-0. Can't see it happening. I can't see us not conceding. So if I'd like to maybe I'm going to not go for a win, but I'll go for a draw. So maybe a 2-2. So we sometimes do this when I think to myself, there's no chance. Against Man City was a perfect example. I didn't think we'd get anything against Man City, and even though we lost 2-1, I was still shocked we scored and was coming in, 2-1, 1-0 half time, and then only lost 2-1. So I think Liverpool more susceptible at the back. Anatovic goal here and there. So 2-2 for me personally. I think Anatovic might get both personally.
Still, man to watch, and your predictions.
I think Luke's right. I think Arnautovic will want to shine. I don't actually think. I think he's beginning to realise that he can become a big icon at West Ham. So I don't necessarily buy into him wanting to be in the shop window because he might actually look at this team. He might look around him at the end of the season and look and go, João Mario, Lanzini, a few other decent players, Hernandez, etc. There's makings of a really, really good West Ham team if the board buy properly, of course. And he might turn around and go, well, I will show them what I can do, but do it for West Ham and be the big man at West Ham, and become an icon like Canio did, etc.
And on that still, just before you carry on, that's the part I fear the most, is because in actual fact, he probably can see himself being an icon, but it does depend on the players and the spot around him. And we've had that chance with Payet, we've had that chance with other players, and we've just let it go. But anyway, sorry for being a downer.
So I would agree with Luke. Arnautovic is the man to watch, and I actually also would agree with the score. I was thinking draw, and I was thinking 2-2, because we will concede. There's no doubt about it. But like I said at the beginning, I think they'll fear us. They'll fear our attacking lineup as much as we'll fear theirs. You know, if you look at our defence, you know, Collins will you know, put his heart on the line for us. You know, and I think the players have dig deep. And like Luke, I think we might surprise ourselves and come away with something.
Yeah.
We won't win. Goodness, if we won, it would be fantastic. But I don't think we'll win. But I can see a 2-2. I can see a 2-2.
I'm going to stay with my positive theme, and my positive theme relates to my prediction, because I actually think it's going to be a bit of a crazy game. I do think both teams will concede, and I'm just going to go for a bit of a crazy prediction of 3-2 West Ham away from home. One of those games to remember of the season, and that's what I'm hoping for, because I'm going to be travelling to the game. Man to watch for me is, I can't help but agree with you on Arnautovic, but if I had to be a little bit different, I think this is going to be Yao Mario's opportunity against the top level, top level, and potentially the price tag that comes alongside him, and to see if he can do that. And if anything, it's putting himself in the shop window. If anything, if it means that he wants to move away from Inter Milan. I've got a good friend who's a massive Inter Milan fan, and says, he is a quality player, but he's not lived up to his name and his price tag since he's joined Inter Milan. And
the irony, Liverpool will turn their attentions away from Lanzini, and buy João Mario from under our noses.
Yeah, I just think João Mario's had a couple of weeks now, or maybe a month or so, to get settled into the West Ham groove, the West Ham team. He's kind of, fans are on his side, people are on his side. He's showing some decent play, and this could be the game that he could really shine for us. So hopefully he can do. So I've gone for a prediction of 3-2. Luke and Stell, you've both gone for 2-2. We were going to do a bit of a chat regarding a lot of the other stuff that's going on at the club, but I think we could maybe save that for a gift of the gab. If anyone else is up for that, we maybe do a separate one on the whole situation that's happening around the club, with the action group that's going on, the social media problems there is at the club. And yesterday we've seen that the club have been fined for some anti-doping thing for David Gold and David Sullivan hiding some documents in the computer and putting them in the recycling bin, etc. So it's just the merry-go-round and circus of West Ham, but hey ho, what can we do? We've tried to keep this as positive as we can. West Ham Liverpool, make sure you definitely, if you're at the game, just sing loud and proud and support the team. Make sure you subscribe to our channel, 100%. Get subscribing. We're going to be giving away a home top as well, thanks to our partners at Umbro. Follow us all on, like our channel pages on Facebook, like Stell's Ticket Group, WHU Ticket Group. On Facebook, and then follow all us lot on Twitter. Any questions, anything you want to say, just get them over, put them in the comments. Comment below. Let us know your feedback. Let us know your feedback on the channel. We do this. We don't do this for money. We do this out of our own spare time to give yous a voice, to give yous an opinion, to give fans an opportunity to come on and talk about West Ham. And this is exactly what this platform is. So comment, and let us know your feedback.
Yeah, please come on, because Anton is actually getting really tired of asking me to jump on the previews. Now it's getting a bit tedious.
Solely down to the fact that he talks too much. So,
and the fact that I've been doing a dodgy tan all night. So
that orange.
I still look better than both of you.
Well, that's a matter of opinion, mate.
Yeah. And you're half our age.
The beard's coming on good, that's for sure.
Yeah. The beards, the hat, the face, everything. The viewers, get the comments in. They know the truth.
So, listen, he's been Stell, he's been Luke, I've been Anton, and we've been Ange United. Come on, your hands.